Hey, this is Dave, here with my breakdown for the first trailer for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows, or which I might just have to affectionately call TMNT. Alright, so let's jump into this. We start out with a shot showing this portal in the sky, which is kind of exciting for us TMNT fans because this is clearly related to Dimension X. And I'm a little bit surprised that they would show this in the trailer, since the reveal of Dimension X and or Krang would have been an epic mid-film reveal. But anyways, and also it feels a lot like the first Avengers film, which is funny since the last TMNT film took a lot of flack for having a third act that was very similar to the Amazing Spider-Man. But in many regards, TMNT often spoofs other comic books, especially the Marvel Universe. They have a shared origin with Daredevil, and the Foot Clan is a spoof of Marvel's The Hand. But also I think it might be a bit of a marketing ploy, like, hey, you like the Avengers, so you'll like this, kind of a thing. Either way, I'm excited to go into Dimension X. And as far as all these things floating down from the portal, at first I wasn't sure if they were ships or just debris or something. Some people have suggested that those could be pieces of the Technodrome, which I must say that I hope that that's what it is. I mean, this better end up being Dimension X related, or else I'm going to be super disappointed. Next we get this little sequence where we see the new turtle van, except it's not a van, it's a freaking garbage truck. And it looks pretty cool. I'm digging it. It's very reminiscent of my old turtle van toy that I used to have. Then we have this shot, which is definitely the worst part of the whole trailer. Okay, moving on. And I just want to say here that I'm so freaking relieved that they went with ninja foot soldiers. Already watching this short little trailer, these guys look so much more interesting and cool than the guns for hire foot soldiers of the last movie. So thank you, Dave Green or Nickelodeon or whoever made that decision. Probably wasn't Michael Bay. Just saying. So then we get our introduction to Casey Jones, and he looks pretty cool. I still kind of like Elias Koteas better, but what are you going to do? And of course, they've got to make him the love interest. That's totally expected. I don't necessarily mind the Goo Goo Eyes smitten at first sight thing that they're going with here, but I will miss the Empire Strikes Back type love-hate relationship that Casey and April had in the original film.
No, thank you!
You're welcome!
You're welcome!
Gosh, it's kind of like moonlighting, isn't it?
Okay, next thing I want to point out is the look of the turtles. So at first glance, they look almost the same as the last movie, but, and I know I'm not alone in this, it looks to me like they shrunk the turtles down a tad and touched up their monster faces a bit. Am I right? What do you guys think? Anyway, I think shrinking them down is a great call. It looks like it's just enough to not be noticeable or distracting, but they'll look better next to all the human characters, and it'll be more believable seeing them when they go hand to hand with Shredder or Karai or the Foot Soldiers. Is it just me, or does Mikey look a lot like post-plastic surgery Megan Fox in this shot? Weird, right? Does that mean April's dad injected some of his own DNA into the turtles back in the day? That would make them like siblings or something. It's kind of weird. It's weird enough that Michaelangelo, a turtle, is always flirting with April, but flirting with his non-turtle half-sister? That's awkward. I think it's time to cool it there, Mikey. Next we get a very meager glimpse of Brian T. as the Shredder. Some people are complaining about him not having a helmet or a mask. I personally don't mind it too much. To me, it just means that we are probably going to get to know the man behind the mask a little bit more. One thing about this Shredder real quick. In the last movie, it's established that Shredder is a mentor/father figure to Eric Sachs. Now, William Fichtner, the actor who played Sachs, is like 59. So I don't know about you, but Brian T. does not look old enough to have raised a 59-year-old man. He barely looks old enough to be this girl's dad. Some people are theorizing that Shredder restored his life along with his youth using the mutagen after falling off the skyscraper in the first film. But I would like to believe that they will be inspired by the comic books and explain that the Shredder from the last film who raised Eric Sachs was in fact Oroku Nagi, the older brother of Oroku Saki. In the comic book, Nagi was killed by Hamato Yoshi, and this is what sent Oroku Saki on a mission of vengeance to kill Splinter's master, Yoshi. But anyway, if you want to hear my theories about that, you can watch this video that I did a little while back. Now here we see Shredder meeting human Bebop and Rocksteady, and he says that he's looking for someone, and the name that he says kind of sounds like Aaron something? What do you guys think? Can you guys make out who Shredder is asking about in that clip? My guess is the name is maybe Bebop's real name in the movie. Bebop and Rocksteady never really have definitive human names from back in the day. Anyway, I'm curious about that name. If you guys can make the name out, or if you know who it is, go ahead and comment below. Next we get a quick shot of Tyler Perry as Baxter Stockman. Not sure how he will be in the actual film yet, but it looks like they're going with the Nutty Professor / Wayne Zelinsky type character, which is probably good, because I'm not sure that a serious Baxter Stockman works very well in the Ninja Turtles. I guess we'll see. Okay, so this leads us, of course, to the moment we've all been waiting for, Rocksteady and Bebop. Now, let me just say that this is an overjoyous thing for me. I honestly believe that my first ever experience with Nerd Rage was when I was 10, and I learned that Bebop and Rocksteady were going to be replaced by a dog and a turtle in Ninja Turtles 2. I was like, what? And even though I ended up loving that movie as a 10-year-old, I never got over the fact that they didn't do Rocksteady and Bebop. I mean, come on. So now finally, 23 years later, these two goons will be in a Turtles movie. So this is kind of a big deal for me. Don't ruin this for me, Michael Bay. I can't wait another 20 years, you hear me? Okay, moving on. Alright, first I want to talk about the look of Rocksteady and Bebop. Some people are saying that they look too cartoony, or that the CG doesn't look good, or whatever. I think that maybe people are seeing it that way because the characters themselves are kind of cartoony. I don't know what people are expecting, like a gritty, realistic design for Bebop and Rocksteady. I mean, to me, I think staying true to the 80s cartoon design is the best thing to do, because really the most appealing aspect of these guys was always their look and their physicality. If you make them look more generic and plausible in the real world, then you kind of lose what makes them who they are. Doomsday! Excuse me. Anyway, so maybe it's because they're just so colorful and off the wall as characters that I feel like what I'm seeing is pretty good. And I guess we'll have to watch the whole movie to decide how the CG actually is. Also, another thing I noticed, I like that Bebop doesn't seem like a complete bonehead. I'm guessing by the trailer and the fact that Rocksteady is played by a wrestler, I'm thinking Bebop will be more of the brains and Rocksteady will be more of the brawn. And for a movie, you gotta have more logic to how these guys were chosen by Shredder. Because in the original cartoon, Shredder literally just picked the two first goons who could run through the door. Literally. So in this version, there has to be something more to Bebop and Rocksteady that makes Shredder decide to enlist them to be his super soldiers, so to speak. I think that having them be street smart and skilled brawlers is the way to go, yet keep them simple-minded enough that they can take orders and still be the brunt of the Turtles' insults. And also with a more clever Bebop, I like the idea that he might be able to talk smack back to the Turtles, and that could make for some fun interchanges.
Oh, y'all got jokes, huh?
And also I have to point out that I love this shot of them on their hogs. I think that's just perfect. Okay, moving on. So here we've got the Megan Fox sequence that undoubtedly was conceptualized by Michael Bay. Let's hope it's real short. Here we got Casey Jones on rollerblades. Very nice. And we've got Vern actually being kind of funny. I actually really love Will Arnett, so I hope they wrote him a lot better this time. I know I'll die laughing if they have him say, "I've made a huge mistake" at some point. Okay, and finally we end with this crazy shot of the Turtles platforming across flood debris while dodging Rocksteady's tank fire. I hope that ends up being as awesome as it looks. So I gotta say I'm impressed, because for someone who just barely liked the last film, this trailer has really amped up my excitement. And you know, the movie might suck, or it might be okay, or maybe it'll actually be the modern day Ninja Turtles movie that we've all been waiting for. But you know, if the filmmakers are on the same page as the marketing team that cut this trailer together, then maybe we're in for a treat. Because I think that the people that cut this trailer understand mostly what Turtles fans are looking for. I mean, in this trailer, April is a secondary character, Vern is a tertiary character, and the Turtles and the bad guys are the main characters, the way it should be, right? And the action looks fun, and it looks more in touch with the source material. So the only thing that they still need to show us at this point is a story to go with all of this. But of course, it is the first trailer. It's kind of a teaser trailer, so the plot can be shown later on in the next trailer. Anyway, those are my thoughts on the trailer. So my excitement is getting pretty high, but I'm going to force myself to keep my expectations in check because, well, you know. Anyway, what did you guys think of this trailer? I'm curious to hear what you guys thought of Bebop and Rocksteady, of Baxter Stockman, of Shredder, and of Casey Jones. And also, what do you guys think of the title, Teenage Mutant Ninja Toots? I mean, Out of the Shadows. So comment below, and if you like this video, go ahead and click the like button and check out either of these videos. And if you want to geek out with me more in the future, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching. I'm out.